There's a hum, a low-frequency buzz that follows us through our days. It's not a sound you can hear with your ears. It's a feeling. A deep, internal vibration of restlessness. Does this sound familiar? You wake up, and before your feet even hit the floor, your mind is already racing. The to-do list, the worries from yesterday, the anxieties about tomorrow. You reach for your phone. You scroll through an endless river of updates, opinions, and curated perfection. You see highlights of other people's lives, and a quiet question whispers in your mind. Am I doing enough? Am I enough? Throughout the day, you push forward. You're productive. You check the boxes. You answer the emails. You hustle. But even in the moments you're supposed to be relaxing, watching a movie, having dinner, lying in bed, your mind is still going. It's like a web browser with 100 tabs open, all of them draining your energy. And by the end of the day, you're exhausted. But it's a strange kind of tired. It's not the satisfying ache of a body that's been put to good use. It's a hollow, soul-level fatigue. A restlessness that a good night's sleep can't seem to fix. We live in an age that glorifies this state. We call it ambition. We call it the grind. We've been sold the idea that to be still is to be lazy. To be content is to be complacent. So we chase. We chase the next promotion, the next purchase, the next relationship, the next experience. We believe that if we can just arrive at that next thing, the humming will stop. The restlessness will finally give way to rest. But it never does it? The new job comes with new pressures. The new car loses its shine. The vacation ends, and the feeling of peace evaporates at the airport. We are like someone dying of thirst, trying to drink from a mirage. We run faster and faster toward an oasis that keeps receding, leaving us even more spent than when we started. This feeling, this constant, nagging sense of inner turmoil, isn't a new phenomenon. It isn't just a product of smartphones and social media. Those things are amplifiers, not the source. They are gasoline poured on a fire that has been burning within humanity for a very long time. Ancient thinkers, philosophers, and spiritual writers all spoke of this same human condition. Saint Augustine, writing over 1,600 years ago, famously said, "You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it rests in you." Our heart is restless. That's the core of it. We are seeking a deep, profound rest for our souls, but we are looking for it in all the wrong places. We are asking temporary things to give us an eternal peace they were never designed to provide. We ask our careers to give us a sense of ultimate identity, but our jobs can be lost. We ask our relationships to give us ultimate security, but people, with the best of intentions, can let us down. We ask our achievements to give us ultimate worth, but there is always a higher mountain to climb. And so, we remain restless. Because we have anchored our souls to things that are, by their very nature, shifting and unstable. This brings us to a quiet corner of the ancient world, to a man who understood this feeling intimately. King David. A man who had everything the world could offer: power, wealth, fame, victory in battle. Yet, his writings are filled with moments of deep anxiety, fear, and a profound longing for something more. And in one of his most beautiful psalms, he reveals where he finally found the cure for his own restless heart. In Psalm chapter 62, he writes, "Truly my soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from him. Truly he is my rock and my salvation. He is my fortress. I will never be shaken." Let's just sit with those words for a moment. This isn't a quick fix or a 5-step plan to a stress-free life. This is a radical reorientation of our entire being. It's a declaration of where our true source of stability lies. Let's break it down, because within these 2 short verses is a powerful blueprint for finding the rest we so desperately crave. The first part says, "Truly my soul finds rest in God." Notice he doesn't say his body finds rest. This isn't about taking a nap or going on vacation, as wonderful as those things are. This is about the soul. That innermost part of you, your mind, your will, your emotions. The very core of who you are. The soul rest David is talking about is a state of being where you are no longer tossed about by the waves of circumstance, opinion, or your own anxious thoughts. It's a quiet confidence. A deep-seated calm that exists independently of what's happening around you. But how? He gives us the answer immediately, in God. The rest isn't found in self-improvement. It's not found by trying harder or thinking more positive thoughts. It's found by relinquishing our desperate grip on everything else and placing our trust in God. It's a subtle but profound shift. Rest is not something we achieve, it's something we receive. It flows from a source outside of ourselves. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to stay afloat in a choppy ocean. You're kicking, flailing, and spending all your energy just to keep your head above water. You are active. You are striving. You are restless. Finding rest in God is like someone throwing you a life raft. You stop your frantic kicking. You let go, and you allow the raft to hold you. You are now resting, not because of your own effort, but because you are being supported by something far more buoyant and stable than yourself. Your circumstances, the choppy water, haven't changed. But your relationship to them has. You are now at rest within the chaos. David then expands on this idea with three powerful metaphors: rock, salvation, and fortress. First, he says, "He is my rock." What is a rock? It's solid. It's stable. It doesn't move when the wind blows or the rains fall. It's a foundation you can build on. In a world of shifting sands, where trends change overnight, where public opinion is fickle, where our own feelings can betray us from one moment to the next, we are all desperate for something solid to stand on. Your rock is whatever you depend on for your ultimate stability and security. For many, their rock is their financial portfolio. But markets crash. For others, it's their reputation or their social standing. But reputations can be ruined in an instant. For some, it's their physical health and strength. But bodies age and weaken. David is saying his rock is God. His sense of stability isn't tied to his kingdom, his wealth, or his popularity. It's anchored in the unchanging character of God. This means that even if everything else in his life were to crumble, his foundation would hold. He is building his house on the rock, not on the sand. Next, he says, "And my salvation." The word salvation means rescue. It implies being saved from something. Saved from what? In one sense, it's salvation from our enemies, from tangible threats. But in a deeper sense, it's salvation from the very restlessness we've been talking about. It's rescue from the endless cycle of striving for approval. Rescue from the anxiety that whispers we are not good enough. Rescue from the fear of the future and regret for the past. Rescue from the tyranny of our own ego, which demands to be constantly fed and validated. When God is your salvation, you are no longer required to save yourself. You can step off the hamster wheel of self-justification. Your worth is not determined by your performance. It is a gift, freely given. This is liberation. It's the deep exhale you feel when a heavy burden is finally lifted from your shoulders. It is the beginning of true peace. And finally, David says, "He is my fortress." Imagine a medieval fortress. High walls, a strong gate, a watchtower. It's a place of ultimate protection. When the enemy attacks, the people retreat inside the fortress, and they are safe. What are the enemies that attack our inner peace today? The arrows of criticism and judgment from others. The fiery darts of self-doubt and negative self-talk. The siege engines of worry that bombard our minds late at night. A fortress is a defensive structure. It's where you go to be sheltered when you feel under assault. To say, "God is my fortress," is to say that when the world feels overwhelming, when criticism stings, when fear closes in, there is a safe place you can retreat to in your spirit. It's a conscious choice to withdraw from the noise and find refuge in the presence of God. It's reminding yourself that your core identity is protected within those walls, safe from the battles raging outside. You can be attacked, but your true self cannot be conquered. And all of this leads to David's triumphant conclusion: I will never be shaken. Some translations say, I will not be greatly shaken. This is an important distinction. This promise isn't for a life free of problems. It's not a shield against hardship, grief, or disappointment. The storms will still come. The ground beneath our feet might tremble. We will still feel the impact. But we will not be ultimately shaken. We won't be destroyed. Our foundation, our rock, will hold. Our place of safety, our fortress, will stand. Our rescue, our salvation, is secure. It's the difference between a tree that is shallowly rooted and one with deep, strong roots. When a hurricane comes, the shallow tree is torn from the ground and destroyed. The deep-rooted tree may lose some leaves and branches, it may bend in the wind, but its core remains firm. When the storm passes, it is still standing. Finding our rest in God is the process of growing those deep roots. So, how do we do this? How do we move from understanding this concept to actually living it? It's not a switch you flip. It's a practice. It's a gentle, consistent retraining of your heart and mind. It starts with creating moments of intentional silence. Our world is terrified of silence. We fill every spare moment with podcasts, music, or scrolling. To find this rest, we must be brave enough to turn off the noise. Even for just 5 minutes a day. In that silence, we create the space to become aware of our own restlessness. To notice where our thoughts are running. To simply be present. Next, it involves a form of prayer or meditation that is less about speaking and more about listening. It's about repeating the words of this psalm to yourself. Not as a magic incantation, but as a reminder of truth. When you feel anxious about the future, you can quietly say to your soul, He is my rock. When you feel overwhelmed by your own failures, you can whisper, He is my salvation. When you feel attacked by criticism or fear, you can find refuge in the thought, He is my fortress. This practice slowly rewires our default settings. We start to automatically turn toward our fortress instead of trying to fight the battle on our own. And finally, it is a practice of surrender. It's about consciously identifying the things you have made into your rocks and fortresses, your career, your reputation, your plans, and gently letting go of their power over you. It's admitting you can't control everything. It's entrusting your life, your future, and your very soul to a source of stability that is far greater than yourself. This is the path away from the hum of restlessness. It's the journey toward a quiet center. The world will continue to be a chaotic and demanding place. The notifications won't stop. The pressures won't disappear. But you can find a place of unshakable peace within it all. A fortress for your soul. A rock for your foundation. True rest is not the absence of storms. It is the presence of God in the midst of them. And it is available to all who seek it. It begins with the simple, honest admission of a restless heart, and the quiet turn of the soul toward its one, true home. Truly my soul finds rest in God. May you begin to find that rest today.